Avoid these four cars if you are planning to buy a car and your budget is around 500,000 Kenya shillings. I'm Eric Wakabi and this is Auto Connect, the only car channel that will guarantee you an alluring motor vehicle experience. You can follow me at a personal level on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads as well. My handle is Eric Wakabi, Eric with a CK. Car number one, the Toyota Premio T240D4 or the Toyota Allion T240D4. I know most people are wondering why is the Allion or Premio in this list, yet these cars are termed to be reliable and a bit pricey. Well, the D4s were the black sheep of this family, and it was because they were quite problematic when it came to the engine. The engine they came with was the one AZFSE, which was a direct injection engine. And apart from the carbon buildup problem that is common with most direct injection engines, there was another problem that even Toyota acknowledged and extended warranties for some of these vehicles with the one AZFSE engine. And that problem was excessive burning of engine oil. This was brought about by the design of the piston rings, and this design left the piston rings exposed or susceptible to clogging, and this led to excessive burning of engine oil. Now, the other problem that was associated with this design, and specifically a technology that they used to call the lean burn technology, was the car would have random misfires, and this was because it would inject very little fuel into the cylinders, and the vehicle would run lean. Now, the reason why it would inject very little fuel into the cylinders was because the lean burn fuel technology was geared towards giving the car better fuel economy. And that is why, up to date, any car dealer will tell you that the D4s were very problematic, and even they were a nightmare to mechanics as well. And that is why the Toyota Allion T240D4 or the Toyota Premio T240D4 will be selling for around 500,000 Kenya shillings in the Kenyan car market. The second car on our list is the Mitsubishi Pajero IOGDI. It is a car that boasts of impressive off-road capabilities, impressive ground clearance, and even a very enticing price tag of 500,000 Kenya shillings and below for a clean one. However, it is one of those cars that looks good from far but is far from good. Apart from the GDI problems, the direct injection problems of carbon buildup, the Pajero IO GDI presented some few other unique problems, and one of them, the high pressure fuel pump failure. This Pajero IO GDI came with a 1.8 liter 4G93 engine, and this engine featured a high pressure fuel pump that was mechanical. And in as much as being mechanical is a good thing, this high pressure fuel pump is quite complicated, and it is driven by the camshaft. More often than not, this pump would fail, and this means the car would not run, or the engine would not run in a healthy way. So it's either once it fails, the engine is running roughly, or it's not even running at all. This system was quite complicated, and one thing about the cars on this list is that part of the reasons why they are rendered unreliable is because even the mechanics fixing them could not understand these systems, just like most of us do not understand coding or even building a website. By the way, do you really have to be a tech bro for you to build yourself a website? Well, the answer is no. Allow me to introduce you to Odoo, a software suite packed with tools to manage every part of your business, including website creation. Odoo's website builder app is truly a game changer. It is amazingly simple and user-friendly that you do not need any technical knowledge. To add some icing to the cake, it is really fun. All you need to do is to drag and drop blocks to add your content. Customize each block by inserting your own text, images, or videos. If your car breaks down by the roadside, you call a flatbed. But with Odoo, if you happen to get stuck, there is a built-in chat GPT integration to help you refine your website copy. The most amazing bit is that your first app on Odoo is free for life. In addition to that, you also get a free custom domain name for your first year. Can you believe this? Click on the link in my description and try it yourself. The other problem with the Pajero IO is the throttle positioning sensor. As the car grows old, this throttle positioning sensor becomes temperamental, and sometimes you can just sit in the car, start it, and it revs all the way to 6,000 RPM. Or again, you're driving the vehicle on the road and you're about to overtake another vehicle, you step on the accelerator pedal and it does not accelerate at all. The third vehicle on our list is the Toyota Aventis T250. It's a very well built sedan and it is enticing to many, especially because of its price tag. However, it is yet another problematic Toyota. And the Aventis T250 we are talking about here is the ones that came with the 1AZ FSE engine and the 2AZ FSE engine. They shared the problems that we talked about when it came to the Toyota Allion T240 and the Toyota Premio T240 D4, but this one also brought about issues with the low pressure fuel pump. In fact, most people who own these Toyota Aventis with the 1AZ FSE or the 2AZ FSE, they will confess to having multiple fuel pump failures. And this is a problem that is well manifested on the Toyota Aventis T250, and that is why it makes its way to this list. It has the general problem of carbon buildup in direct injection engines. Secondly, it shares the excessive oil burning problem that we talked about with the Toyota Allion D4 and the Premio D4. It suffers problems with the low pressure fuel pump, and in addition to that, it is susceptible to random misfires. Yeah, so that's the Toyota Avensis T250 for you. I would like to give a disclaimer though. Not all Toyota Avensis T250 come with the 1AZ FSE or with the 2AZ FSE. There are others that do not come with these engines. Before we talk about the fourth car on this list, I would like to remind you that we offer services such as pre-purchase inspection, consultation on matters cars, and even we offer a sourcing service for those who may not want to go through the hassle and bustle of sourcing for a car. The fourth car on our list happens to be the Land Rover Freelander 1. It is a car that boasts of impressive off-road capabilities and also impressive ground clearance. It has a very attractive price tag, but again, it has a legacy of unreliability. Today, we do not want to throw a blanket judgment onto the Freelander 1. We intend to understand the problems that it posed to the users and to the mechanics who would fix these Freelanders. One of the major problems was the drivetrain issues, and these were associated with the viscous coupling unit. What is a viscous coupling unit? Well, this is a device that is used to distribute power between the front and the rear axles. And the problem with the viscous coupling unit in the Freelander 1 was that it was a sealed unit. This means it could not be serviced. With time, the fluid inside the viscous coupling unit would thicken, and now this would make the movement quite stiff. This would lead to problems such as premature failure of the rear differential and even of the transfer case. So that was one of the common problems with the Freelander 1. The other problem was associated with the engines. The Freelander one came with a variety of engines, and some of the most common being the first one, a 1.8 liter K series petrol engine. And the problem with this engine was it came with a head gasket failure, and this would lead to overheating. Now, the solution to this was swapping it with a multi-layered aftermarket head gasket. So that would solve the head gasket issue. The other petrol engine that this Freelander once came with was the 2.5 liter KV6 engine. The problems with these engines were associated with the timing belt, and to add salt to injury, this engine had multiple belts. So fixing it was a nightmare due to the complexities of these engines. And even to add salt to injury, this engine presented a coil pack failure rate that was unimaginable. And that is why these vehicles again were termed quite unreliable. What about the diesel option? These Freelander ones also came with, and I want you to listen keenly, with a diesel engine that was called the TD4, but the TD4 was actually a BMW M47 diesel engine. Please note that this is not the M57, it's the M47 diesel engine. The problem with the TD4 or the M47 engine is that sometimes it would register a rough idle and even have turbo pressure issues. Now, let's leave the engine part. These Freelander ones that came with the TD4 or the M47 diesel engine, they were fitted with a dual mass flywheel. And once the dual mass flywheel would wear out, it would cause a lot of clutch jadder. And the repair bill for this is quite hefty. That is why Freelanders remain feared amongst many, and that is why it has made its way to our list of cars that you should avoid if you want to buy a car and your budget is 500,000 Kenya shillings. I hope this has been an insightful episode, and before I wind up, I would like to thank you for getting us to 50,000 subscribers. The whole team at AutoConnect would like to express their individual gratitude to each one of you who happens to be our viewer and our supporter. And we will keep on telling you to subscribe and share this channel to any of your friends or family or even colleagues who might be in need of alluring, palatable, and insightful car content. I've been your host, Eric Wakabi, Eric with a CK. And remember, you can follow me at a personal level on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok as well. My handle is Eric Wakabi, Eric with a CK.